Can we break past 30? That's the question. I feel like a lot of people are going to be watching that zone. Small size here to see if the momentum holds and we get that break. Unfortunately, no. Get back a little bit there. That's fine. Last couple of trades on SOPA pretty much put me red. That's why you don't average down, you cut your losses. Morning traders, welcome back. So here are my stats. I'm up 279 on the day with a profit margin of 25%. I had a really hard time actually making profits today, or actually keeping profits. That's what I should be saying. I was making profits and then losing it, and it was just stressful. A better day is like 65% profit margin. And even then, I feel like I'm giving back a lot of profits. You can see here that my risk reward is positive, so just slightly 1-to-1, but my I did have too big size on my losers, so that was a bit of a mistake. And I actually just checked on average, so I look for all my results for wins and losses, and on average, my average position cost is bigger on my losers, which is something that I really need to tighten up on. Basically, never average down. That's like rule number one, only start sizing into winners. I think that alone will help. I remember, like, when I first started trading in this portfolio, I would average down a lot more. Now I don't do it as much, but sometimes I still slip up, and I think that's why I have that kind of nasty average. That being said, we are nicely on our way back over $120,000 in profit, and that 150,000 mark is in sight. So I'm looking forward to that. Today was just a choppy day, and it was just a day I didn't feel comfortable sizing up. A bit like the whole entire week has been going. Monday was pretty sloppy. Tuesday I at least had a little bit of momentum, ended up the day over 1,000. Wednesday was sloppy where, I'd make some money and then give it right back again. Here you can see I was up 200 and then I was down 200. Similar situation today, and I just had a really hard time nailing any sort of move. And I'll actually show you guys this one exact example that is perfect. Here's all the tickers I trade, by the way, 7 tickers, a little bit on the higher end. But let me show you guys this. This is EFSH. I am so happy I ended EFSH. I won't spoil it for everyone that doesn't know what I ended it on, but just this is like how a lot of trades went for me today, and I just didn't feel comfortable sizing up. So let me quickly switch to my full screen, and you guys will see this. Wow, this is ridiculous. Just watch. Oh, I just got destroyed. Oh. I was just about to force the exit here, but I noticed buyers coming in. Oh. And then all of a sudden it's up. I thought I was out. I wasn't out. I didn't have all my sell orders in place. I didn't know that. God, nothing makes sense on these tickers. Nothing makes sense. It was a 20% move. Why am I even trading this? Yeah, nothing makes sense. Why am I even trading this is what I'm saying. So here I'm kind of forcing my exits. I'd rather take a small loss than have another 300% or $300 dip. So that's kind of how I started the trading day today. And in a weird way, let me go back to my normal screen here. In a weird way, I think that messed me up today, because pretty much all the first tickers I traded, as you saw with my running P&L, I just had a loser, a small winner, loser, small winner. I felt like I wasn't in control of my trading, and because of that, my average size was a little bit lower than normal today. I am totally ready to size up to a $20,000 position size. I've even done it recently, like this week. It's just, I'll take my profits probably quicker than usual, and then at the same time, a lot of my trades are like $10,000, even like the A+ setups, which is unfortunate because I should be getting more aggressive than that. And I think, trading some of these pre-market setups that we had today threw me off a little bit. So I think I got to get a little bit more selective with my trading, because, I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much 4 tickers are total scratches, and then we have a bigger loser, and then 2, okay profits. I mean, even this is a small loser actually, but like relative to these other ones. So we had good moves like at like 10:30, 11 o'clock again today, so much later than usual. And then 7 to 8 was just super, super hectic. And I think by the time the market opened, I was like mentally exhausted. And usually I do my best trading from 7 to 8, but we haven't been really getting movers. So I think that's what's been making this market specifically difficult for me, and why I'm not being able to, size up as much as I want to. Luckily today I was able to trade a little bit longer, and because of that I was able to get a little bit more green. I took some small trades on BRSH right at the end, and made some progress there. But I don't know, it was an all over the place kind of day. We'll just go through these tickers really fast here. I think there's some good lessons to show you guys, so let's see if I can dig them up for you and hopefully present them properly. So SENS, now this ticker was a classic ticker that I just held a little bit too long. This was one of those classic, didn't cut your losses quick enough. Here we had that aggressive sell-off, and every time I see these sell-offs that are a bit like a ramp, they're just do. Especially when the third one doesn't even bounce. At this point, there should be a little bit of a bounce. I got to get out quicker. I get stuck in a lot of these similar flushes, and this was kind of an avoidable loss. Luckily, it was a small size. Actually, the size was above my average today, so it wasn't necessarily a tiny size, but again, I could have cut my losses much quicker. I ended up cutting pretty much at the perfect low right here, literally. So that kind of sucked. NNVC, this was such a weird situation. Trading this one. Actually, no, that was see, I've been getting these stickers mixed up all day. That was NVIV. That was a weird situation. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, NVVC, I just traded this pullback looking for that bounce. Didn't work, cut my losses, and moved on. So that's what it's all about, just cutting your losses quick. EFSH, that's the ticker you guys just saw. Really hectic on that. QNRX. This is yesterday's huge winner, 600%. This one was up. I was not trading yesterday. I had an appointment, so I was gone in this area. I came back and I was looking at it in here, and I was like, but I was busy doing other things, so I didn't trade it, which is kind of upsetting. But oh well, it doesn't bother me so much because it's not really my focus. I did trade it a little bit here. I actually made a decent profit on this breakout, and then again crawling up here, and then I bought kind of higher and then looked for that last little pop towards 26. We didn't get it, and I pretty much gave back all my profits on this one. I was up like 200 or so on QNRX, so that was kind of annoying. Yeah, one step forward, one step back all day today. BRSH, I'm up 88 on this one. This is the last ticker I traded, and also I traded a little bit earlier here. Similar situation where, well, recent IPO actually, this one, and we were at a blue sky for a bit. I traded this pullback, and then I traded this move, and it failed. I cut my losses, and then it just bounces back up. So this is one of those markets where you do not want to chase unnecessarily. A lot of these moves do not have good continuation. I think that's also what made the market open so tricky, because like one ticker, I think it was NVIV, did have continuation, and that ticker you did have to buy high really aggressively. But all the other ones, if you were buying high, you get flushed in right away, like 5-10%, sometimes even 20-30%. And that's what made today so tricky. I was just constantly getting shaken out. So this was tough on BRSH, and then I eventually traded this move right here. But similar situation, I bought high here, and then it dumped on me here. And these dumps are really aggressive for some reason, 7%. Had a small win here as well, but I just couldn't get myself to hold these tickers, which sucks because this is actually a pretty good setup right here. I'm just not used to like randomly flushing below the 90 EMA, so it's been a little bit choppy and shaky, and that's been a big problem for me. I think I'll clean up, and I'll figure it out. I'm not so worried about it, but in the short term, it's been excessively choppy, and I haven't really adjusted myself to it accordingly. I think that's been pretty much sums it up. NVIV, this was a crazy ticker today and could have been a huge winner. This is one of those tickers where you actually had to buy really high and really aggressively, and the problem was it was getting halted pretty much every time. Like, look at this, halt. So these are many little halts inside, many little 5-minute halts. So it would unhalt, start crawling up, and you're always risking that big sell-off. So I don't really like trading around halts. That's why I avoided trading this one, but it ended up being pretty much the best ticker. I did trade this one pre-market, and this was so embarrassing. It's on my recording, but basically I was trading it on the 5-minute chart, and I was thinking to myself, why is time going so slow right now? Like, why is there not another 1-minute candle being printed? And then I eventually realized I was on the 1 minute and I could have took profits so many times. And that was just a really silly mistake on my end, kind of super embarrassing to even say. But yeah, this was a 5-minute chart where it's usually a 1-minute chart, and that just totally threw me off. I'm actually super grateful I'm even up on this ticker because I was basically trading it horribly. That was pretty much pure luck. And then SOPA, what do we got brewing here on this ticker? Wow, it's actually breaking VWAP right now. Very light volume would make me a little bit... Actually, the volume's not too bad, 400,000 shares. But, I don't know what it is. I just have very little trust right now in some of these tickers, which is unfortunate. I need to get that trust a little bit higher because some of it is a little bit unnecessary, unwarranted. But at the same time, it's a lot of choppy moves, so it doesn't bother me super much. This move right here was absolutely insane. It was like 100% move, 90%. And I bought this one, a few moves here. I eventually actually gave back quite a bit, unfortunately, in this area, which was a little bit unnecessary. And then I tried to trade this one here, but I actually ended up giving back again and again and again till this last little move I edged into and I got this pop, but nowhere near the size, so just 500 shares. And that was a little bit disappointing. I don't know, my mind was a little bit too pessimistic today. And as a momentum breakout trader on small caps, you have to be a little bit blindly optimistic. So I was a little bit too pessimistic today. That kept me from, jumping on those nice moves. But at the same time, it did keep me from really digging a hole. So I managed my risk here pretty okay. And, if you're not totally feeling the market, there's no need to unnecessarily size in just because you should be sizing in. Sometimes you want to wait till you have one of those days where it's like you're really in the flow, you feel it. And I've had several of those days, and boom, if I'm in an A+ setup, I'll go in with that $15,000, $20,000 size, and it works nicely. But as I get more comfortable, I want to do like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 size, and sometimes you just gotta push yourself a little bit, jump over the edge a bit. And it takes me a little bit of time right now because I think the summer was just a really slow one for me personally. Yeah, so hopefully I get a little bit more dialed in and then I can really start capitalizing on some of the more momentum we're seeing today, or this week, which is nice in general. I hope I'm not coming off like I'm complaining about this momentum. I like it. I just haven't found my groove in it yet, and I can't wait for when I do. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you then first thing tomorrow morning. Like always, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao.